Taribo West.
Yeah.
What was that like when he was at Plymouth Argyle?
Taribo, what a guy. What an amazing man, by the way. Wow. Old in the changing room. Not sure how he signed. He used to run with a limp. Got him through the door somehow. Yeah, this guy came from AC Milan, Inter Milan, played in World Cups and like Taribo West. And yeah, he wasn't fit, but what a guy to have in the changing room, right? And he was ultimately there to take my position. So I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do here now against him? This is Taribo West. But we were doing pre-season, never forget it. And it was like we were doing like 200-meter runs or something. Right, this is not easy, but you can do it. Remember Taribo, first run, sprints. He's about 30 yards ahead of every single person. You're thinking, right, wow, what's going on here? But it's a really crazy run. Gets to the other end, and it's like we're about to go again. Whistle's about to start, and we go, and he stood still. So we get to the other side, we come back up again, and he's still there. I'm like, what's Taribo? We're going. He's like, no, I do one. I do one. And that kind of set the scene with Taribo. He was Taribo, right? And Taribo did what he wanted to do in terms of his managing, what an experience. But he wasn't fit. I had no idea how they signed him. But what a beautiful human being he was. He was so empathetic with everybody. I remember getting to know him a little bit. Such a lively character. Came in. He'd bring coffees in for the players. He'd bring food in, and he'd give clothes away. He was just this guy who was so generous, and you start to understand a little bit about him. And then a lot of his wages were going to the local charities. He was giving his money away. Honestly, you start to realise this guy's here. It's not really just the football. He's obviously turned up at Plymouth somehow. He probably doesn't even know himself, but he's there. And he was just this guy, which I don't know, like on another level, he was like a superstar in his country. But he came to Plymouth and he was very humble, very, very open, very giving. And I love being around Taribo. In the end, he had no chance of playing because he wasn't fit. But he used to give me some tips and ideas, and I used to talk to him a little bit about defending and what would you do here, what would you do there. And I'd watch him in training sometimes when he could train. Could see actually when he was on his peak, he would be top class. Yeah, he had everything in terms of physique, speed, power, good on the ball. So yeah, Taribo, even though he was short-lived, what a guy. Honestly, one of the best guys I've ever met in football, because purely he came with no arrogance. He just came as this guy. He was playing football, did his own thing, and was so giving. So yeah, wonderful person.
And what was his presence like on a match day in the dressing room? Was he a leader or was he more quiet?
Full of life. Yeah, he wasn't playing much. He was on the bench, hardly played, but he was full of life. He was picking you up and giving you big hugs, and yeah, honestly, just something that I'd never. It's like if you're not playing, you kind of like not down in the dumps. You still want to show some kind of character when you're there, but he was just this big, all-encompassing, big family giant with lots of love to give and lots of support. And yeah, on the coach on the way there, in the change on the way back, whether he played or he didn't play, he was just so loud. And honestly, one of the best characters. I think people have asked me about him before. I've not really said too much, but when I look at it, I think his mission was just not the football. It was something else. I'm not sure what it was. But you're talking about human beings and about being a good person, about humbleness, empathy, care, love. He epitomised all of that, and it kind of it was great to be around him. Love being around him. Top guy.